Hey, what's up, Vigilante? What's up, Taboo? Yeah, this is Rogue. I just I finished up redoing her butt the other day, and I figured I could try to touch it up now. I had to do 3 heads for it, so this is the DX heads for the new maquette. He actually, the guy actually had one of the regular heads too. Or is this the exclusive? I forget. Yeah, Happy New Year to you too as well. Hopefully you guys had a good holiday season. Yeah, if I had the funds and space, I would actually get this regular, you know, this one again, and then try to get one of these heads to go on it, because I absolutely love these heads, but I still love the museum pose. Just a shame when this statue first came out, they closed up the booty on her. So what's up with Tim? Yeah, one of the guys I do a lot of work for, he absolutely loved it as well. But he's actually going a step further with his Rogue and his setup, so, but I can't ruin his idea yet. For now, I'm just got the head situated, and hey, what's up, David? Yep, that is your, is it Gantz? I guess that's what it's called. So I guess since you're here, you can see she's kind of all repainted. Hopefully in the camera you can see I've made those a lot brighter. And then her hand with the gun was a little tricky. So it's a little bit messy up in here, but I can't put this in yet because the magnet is getting set. And I just got to clean up the hands and stuff in here. Because I didn't realize this handle is actually all metal. So I had to kind of break the finger and, as you can see, redo all that. But she's getting there. Yeah, Tim, I've had lots of people not really asking for me to do it as much as do I have any extra heads they can buy, or if I'm sitting on any, and sadly I don't, you know, have them. Yeah, that maquette Rogue, man, she skyrocketed. They did such an amazing job with the paint-ups. But I still love museum poses, so. I wonder if anyone got lucky with damaged DX heads or replacements where they actually can do this, or if they have done it. I'm not really sure though. That's good, Vigilante, man. That's just the way to start. That's how I got started. That's how I ended up here. It was on statue form. I was just doing random stuff for myself, and then people started asking me, so. Well, like I said, I've had people ask me to do it, but only if I have the head for them, because nobody can actually get the head. So I just tell people, you got to get yourself a EX maquette, and then take the head out, and then sell the the item without the EX head. Yeah, Vigilante. Recasting is kind of like a no-no. So like, say if you take a rogue and you customize it and then you recast them, you're still kind of recasting the item. One of a kinds and just keep redoing it is kind of like the safe bet. But I mean, if you customize an arm for her and you sculpt it from scratch, and then you want to make copies to sell those custom arms out to people, that's different. But if you're taking the item and then you're redoing it and then copying it, that's kind of frowned upon in the hobby. I have been working and emailing all day. I just got done doing a bunch of repairs, priming stuff in the garage. And I'm trying to get a lot of these little things out the door. What's up there, Jarrell? Thanks for stopping by. Just working on a little booty now. What's up, Gazmer? Hopefully I said that right. Thank you, I appreciate it. Not the best. I just love customizing and changing things up. And salvaging stuff as well. Alright, Tim. I'll have to make a Tim my first ban from chat just for spite. No, I've never done any digital sculpting. I watch a lot of people do it. I don't really have the time to get into it. I would love to. I think if after art school digital sculpting was a thing, I would have gone into it. But it just didn't plan out that way. I kind of have more fun doing this stuff hands-on, actually. I just like repairing, repainting, sculpting, just doing everything. It's just more fun. I think after 11 years sitting behind a desk doing graphic design kind of took its toll on me. Wow, you guys are brutal tonight, especially Jose. Ban both of you clowns just for spite. Then if I see you guys at Jersey Festival, airbrush a shirt saying VinceVell banned me from his channel. If you want to get into sculpting, go to a hobby store, grab a couple cheap tools, and like if you go to like a Michael's, AC Moore, or any kind of store, they have what's called Super Sculpty. And Super Sculpty, you can actually keep sculpting with it, and then you have to bake it when it's ready to be done. So if that's something you want to practice with, that's some good stuff to mess with. At least get started. They have a gray and a pink version. Gray is firm, pink is a little bit softer. But a lot of guys use that, I guess, when they get started. So you can like sculpt like a body with the Super Sculpty, and then you can bake it, and then you can sculpt removable arms, and then you can bake those. And you can kind of do stuff like that. But with that, you have to build like an armature. You know, you build like a skeleton out of wire, and you sculpt onto it. That's kind of something good to start with. Jersey Fest, I guess, is around, what, October, September or something? I don't know. Hey, what's up, Marco? Happy New Year to you as well. How's your airbrush booth holding up? I'm actually still planning on my booth. I'm kind of gathering all the dimensions and pricing everything out still. I'm working as fast as I can, but this is an item for somebody, so I gotta be careful with it. Guys are clowns. Nah, we'll just band a Tim, that's it. We'll take all our aggression out on him. I do that anyway when he comes down for hangouts. I told you, for spite. Alright, let's start working on the booty. The Poison Ivy is going to be my 2020 work in progress series. We're going to do a Pokemon female off of it. So I've been just planning everything out. Hopefully I'll get her started up this weekend. It's going to be like the Bowsette series, except it's going to be a Pokemon female, and we're going to go off the Poison Ivy. Got to try different characters and superheroes, put on the superhero statues. Kind of fun that way. Yeah, I enjoyed the Bowsette. That was a fun series. So I think this one will be kind of fun to do the Poison Ivy. For this Tamiya Titanium Gold, I just sprayed it right out of the bottle. I mean, it was thin enough that it goes through fine. I use this as a primer for yellow. This stuff dries very well. It's sandable because this Titanium Gold doesn't really like thicken up like the other Tamiyas, and it could kind of sand pretty well. It also helps me see something. So this is some Tamiya putty. I see a little bit of an error here. So this is kind of like priming it and fixing it, because I couldn't see it just with the eaves on it. And I'm not painting the whole thing, so I don't want to go crazy priming it and then repainting it. This takes a little bit to dry, not that long, just a little bit. So we'll give it a few minutes while I work on something else. This stuff is great whenever I'm working on something and I find an error. I could putty it, let it dry in like 20 minutes, sand it down a little bit, and I'm good to go. Alright, we'll give this like 15 minutes or so. What's up, Philip? From Australia. Dang. Hopefully you're not by all those fires. Or did I get the wrong place? Gonna work on these custom Power Girl heads a little bit. I figured I could practice on 3. See if anybody wants them before I work on all the others. Gotta try and match up the body while I'm working on this. As you can see, I got the body right there. Alright, so hopefully you just stay safe out there, man. I can imagine how hot and crazy it is. I think a lot of people don't realize that you guys have summer now, right? These are custom heads I had Tony Cipriano sculpt for me. And then I had Roberto Von Burr sculpt hair, so these are the hair pieces, and then it's gonna look like that on Power Girl, which came out awesome. So I got a couple from my own personal Power Girl, but these 3 right here are just something I'm practicing on. And then I'll probably just put them up on my for sale section if anyone's interested. Yeah, it kind of worked out. The first hair sculpt that Tony did, I wasn't digging, and then I tried something myself. So, and then I just figured I'd get used to how these work and be painted. I just got to try to match the skin tone on the premium format, so it's not different. Factory seems to put a lot of raw sienna in their paints for some reason. It's always hard to copy it. Cool thing about these heads is I don't have to worry about too much of the back of the head. It's all hidden. Nah, you don't want to be like me. Half the chemicals and resins I breathe in are probably going to do me under soon, so. Philip, if you go to Crayola website, web store, Crayola.com or CrayolaStore.com, they have a 5-pound brick. But the only thing is I don't know if you can order it in your country. If you order it, it comes in a big bulk box like this for 5 pounds. It's like 70, no, it used to be 70. I think it's almost like $100 now. And all they do is they throw it in a big bag for you. So if you could go onto their website, you can see if you can order it. I could actually look up real quick. Let me see. Yeah, you want to get the regular old-fashioned silly putty if you can. I helped a guy out a while back. I ordered the 5-pound brick, but to pay for shipping to me, ordering the brick, and then sending it out to them in the other country, it was expensive, but they wanted to go for it, so that's what we did. You could also try places like eBay. Maybe it's possible it's on eBay too, I never know. But try to get the regular pink. Don't get the, what is it, like the fancy like neon colors or stuff like that. They're too tacky and they don't work. So you kind of want to stay away from those if you can. Yeah, no problem. See if you can get a hold of it. No, the bulk stuff is not oily at all. I've the box I just showed you I've had for about, I don't know, 3 years now. And no, it's not oily. It may look oily in the bag, but it's not. No, I still got your item I need to finish up. You're not giving me any more stuff. For the past 4 days, I've been trying to plan everything out for the year with people, so. I'm trying to match up the colors on this. Sort of there. That's the thing I don't like about factories. They do one color and they just do one shade and that's it. So I want these heads to actually work on it. But I can still add a little bit of pop to it as well. Some blush and other stuff. It's not really an assembly line, I guess. I don't know. If you just take your time and you work on each one, it doesn't really affect anything. But like I said, I'm doing this to match up the factory paint. Because when I repaint this statue, I have actually like, let's see. So I'm painting this 3 heads just to match up the factory, and I find it's easier just to be able to paint 3 heads to match it up at one shot, and you just take your time with them and you'll make them. When I repaint this Power Girl from my own collection, I have 4 different heads that I'm working on. I got my EX head, I got the regular head that came with her, and then I got a Black Widow head that I kind of customized with the hair. So I got all these different types of style heads for my Power Girl, but for these 3 I'm just kind of just working on them in one shot. If you're painting up like 20 of them, then it could affect the you know, the outcome of it, but as long as you take your time, you'd be fine. So this one here has, and this one had a little bit of a defect on it. Well, not a defect, a bubble. So what I normally do is when I'm working on skin with the garage kit colors, if I find an error, I can kind of patch it up and let it dry a little bit. This Tamiya putty stuff is amazing. I love it. So I can let that stuff dry, work on the face a little bit, go back, sand it, and touch it up. Yeah, the butt's getting there. We'll get back to it in a few. This factory stuff has like an opaque to it though. It's like a white. kind of where it's at. Some transparency bright flesh from Garage Kits, because this got a little bit of pink in there. So we'll try to... Getting a little closer. Might be a little bit too dark. Kind of lighten up just a little bit. Yeah, no, that Black Widow head on this statue is gonna look sick. Though I don't know when the hell I'm ever gonna get to it. Alright, let's probably have to do some eyeshadow, and then we'll do some pastel stuff a little bit later. Try to get back on the road now. Hold on one second. Well, I just figured I'd start painting some stuff tonight in stream. It's been just a day of a lot of little stuff. So, if you guys don't have any 3M sandpapers, like these, the more you use these fine ones, the more finer they get. So this one's fairly new. So this will help get a lot of it off. You don't have to go crazy sanding it, just a little light. Now, normally I don't do this like this over here because of the dust, but for the stream I'll just show you. So as you can see, this stuff hasn't been there that long. It's pretty much dried, comes off dusty. Works out really well. Now if your paint is thick paint like Createx, that's rubbery, or if you use certain Tamiya paints that are really thick, then when you use the sandpaper it'll destroy it. But this gold stuff is like really great for priming. It dries really well and it doesn't really go crazy. But like say if I did yellow paint over her right away, like if I used like any of these yellows, stuff like this, it just kind of, this sandpaper just like tears it up and rips it up. So certain paints will work well and certain paints won't. I just learned that the Tamiya titanium gold and their chrome silver don't really cause any of that issues. So don't be afraid to use it as a primer base if you need to, especially for small areas. Plus the titanium gold helps yellow pop more, so you don't have to do 30 layers of like yellow on something. So as you can see, as sanding it, I'll try to get a little bit closer for you. So you can see there's almost like a layer there of putty, and then there's a layer of the Aves. So that putty is like really filling it in and it's making it smooth. Now if you're not sure, you can always do another layer of whatchamacallit, titanium gold, which I'm going to do anyway, and that'll let me know if there's any like stuff I might have missed. And also rub your finger over it. That's the difficult part when you're just doing something small area and trying not to ruin everything. If I was going to paint this from scratch, then I would just prime it and, you know, have everything ready just for paint. Still a little bit of a spot there. Well, you can, if you use the maquette heads and you really want to go above and beyond, you can actually chop up the hair in the back to have her facing forward. But if you love the factory paint-up and you don't want to ruin the face, that's the risky part. It's basically the hair is the issue. It's not really the statue itself, you know. But with this one, if you put a mirror behind her and you have her face, and you'll be able to see all the, you see the booty shot, so that's a good thing. And this is the normal process I do when I'm either repairing or little stuff like this. Just keep going until you get that area smoothed out. Yep, they got turntables out there. If you the electronic ones, they're all over eBay. I was gonna get them for my videos, but the problem is there's only a certain amount of weight that could go on them. Like her would work on it, but like a really heavy, huge statue, just those mechanical ones just don't. They're like a weight limit on them. I forget the weight limit. I think it was like some of them are like only 14 pounds or something. Okay, back to the Power Girl heads, why this dries again. Yeah, that LSB would probably be way, way too heavy for it. I would think so. Some of them are battery operated and some of them are wired. But, like I said, they, if I was to put on like a huge Hulk statue or something, it would just crush it. Let's try a little of this first. Great, man. Glad you got her and you like her. Like I said, for me it was just a test item, but glad somebody enjoyed her. I still never knew who that statue was. I don't even remember how I got it. Like I said, it was like 6 years ago or something. No, Philip. This is just a makeup kit I got off of eBay. I think it was like 20 bucks. I just find it's easier than using pastels. And then if you look at my floor, if you go to like a CVS, you can just go and pick up a bunch of different other pastels and just use whatever you think works. You still have to seal it though, that's the only thing. You can do a lot of the powder work, but if you don't seal it, it's not going to stay there. And you can't seal it with Tester's dull coat because it destroys the makeup. So you want to use like water-based stuff, like maybe Garage Kit colors or like something like these. Can kind of seal it pretty well. Mecha varnish, matte, Garage Kit stuff like this. Tester's dull coat, like out of a rattle can, will just kind of bleed it and eat it all up and speckle it. It's a mess. Same might go for like pastels, but I don't use chalk pastels at all anymore. That's pretty interesting. I don't know if I got her around 2003. It's possible I did, but I really don't know. Because I remember when I first got into the hobby, I was buying garage kits like crazy on eBay. That's when I first got on eBay. And just kind of learning it. But that's one I never finished. Alright, let's try some eyeshadow. Yes, Lacey, these are custom Power Girl heads. I'm just doing a test run on these three, and then I'll probably have them up on my site when they're done for sale. These are things that I had customized or made with somebody, and just something a little different. So, looking pretty decent. Pop out my smaller airbrush for eyeshadow. Yeah, if you're buying an anime kit that was released then on eBay now, I'm sure it's a recast. Most of the anime kits are recast anyway, because their laws are different out there. Very different. I know there's some legit ones, but once the legit ones get out in the wild, from what I understand, they're all recasted. But I think somebody told me that you gotta stay away from certain countries because the resins they use are bad. I don't know. So we're gonna use some transparent Payne's Gray with my HPB Plus airbrush. A little bit of low PSI. Whenever I use the Garage Kit's transparency like this, I try to heat up the item, otherwise it'll bleed. So just getting it a little warmer kind of makes life easier. You can do it with pastels if you want, but I like to use the paints. Just a little eyeshadow, nothing too crazy on it. That's the only thing with some transparency paints. They'll spray too hard, they'll bleed. And I always like to spray on my hand a little bit just to make sure it's not splattering. That's pretty much how I do some eyeshadow. Come custom using this airbrush for just small stuff like that, because it's got a smaller cup. It's pretty much the same one as this, it just doesn't have the valve here in the bigger cup. Let's pop one of these on and see how it looks. Yeah, fairly close. Getting there on that. These are all my airbrushes over here. My main airbrush for everything is my Iwata HPCH. I use this for everything, pretty much. When I need to do thicker areas, I use my Revolution CR. But I have a backup. I have this Pache for Alclad Chrome. I have an old Badger that once in a while I use for splatter effects. It's a 360 or something. And that's pretty much all I have now. I need to get a spray fan airbrush when I get a chance. Haven't had the time to get one yet. Plus I need to do my airbrush booth. Alright, so hopefully this is the last time we need to sand this and we can touch it up. I'll warn you now guys, yellow is the worst paint ever. One wrong color, one wrong mess up, it just shows like crazy. It doesn't want to go over any specific colors. Like if you put it over green, you're always going to see the green. If you put it over blue, you're going to see the turn green. So yeah, yellow is the absolute worst. One drop of black or brown, it muddies up the whole color. So that's why whenever I airbrush yellow, I make sure my paint cups are very clean. Should hopefully do it. Yes, Lacey, I do use paintbrushes on a lot of stuff. It's not always airbrushing, so I use everything. Just for major stuff like this is airbrush. Like when this is taken off and you have this so kind of like rogue. So you can see you have yellow, a dark green, and then a regular green. After I would paint all this yellow, I'd mask it off. I'd paint all this green, and then I would use a paintbrush for that line. So yeah, regular paintbrushes are used a lot. Just the majority of stuff is always airbrushing if I can. Yeah, guys, yellow's horrible. I know some people love it, they work well with it. I personally hate it, because I had a professor in art school who said put a tiny drop of like brown or black into yellow and it destroys the whole entire tube. So yeah, it's yellow's a nightmare, especially on statues. Let's put her back up here. I'm gonna be redoing this whole area, but I don't like having holders for my paints. All my paints are here. I like to be able to grab them when I'm ready. Oh, they're all organized by color. And I just put everything down here. But this whole system is going to get sort of redone, at least the airbrush booth. I tried the holder thing a while back and I just didn't like it. Still a little bit of a spot there. That's a cool thing about this paint, it dries fairly fast. Yeah, I don't like this spot there. It's bothering the hell out of me. Got to make it as perfect as I can. A little bit. This is a brand new cut piece, so it should sand it a little bit better. Yeah, that's what it was. It came up too high. Looks like I got mail. I'll be right back. Hold on. Well, hello there from France. Glad you could stop by and hang out. Yep, that's my doorbell for so I know stuff's here while I'm in the studio. Alright, let's hit it one more time, see if this solves the problem. Yep, that solved it. Alright. The cool thing about the titanium gold, sometimes if you get a little splatter and it's sort of see it, instead of trying to get it out, if you spray a little bit thicker, sometimes it just kind of blends out. It's kind of cool. It's a really weird paint compared to all their other colors. Nice and shiny. Just leave it like that. Alright, now on to yellow, which is pain. I find that a good acrylic base color, Citadel paints. Let's see, hold on. Yeah, Citadels. These are not bad. They're expensive, but if you don't overspray, you can get through a long bottle of it. They go on pretty well. They're thick though, so like you can see, they're like really thick and gloppy. But if you thin it down with water, they work pretty well. This is kind of an old bottle though, I think, so. P3 formula, Citadels, like P3 formula, which there's not much left in it. These are nice as well. They go on fairly smooth if you kind of thin them down just right. I'm going to mix some other color into it though, which is kind of like a lemon yellow. So you can just see by just a little bit of a light spray, it's kind of, you still see that titanium gold under there. And you just kind of go slow. So it's still not like the factory. We got to do some shading, but it's almost quite there. Make sure we don't overspray it. Alright, I'm seeing a little bit of an error. I gotta fix it. So there's a little bit of a spot I didn't see. This is the problem when you add color. There's a little bit of a spot underneath here. So I want to fix this. It sucks that I didn't see it till now, but so when I Dremel this out, that's a pain. So with something like this, I'll let this dry again a little bit. I'll come back, I'll sand it, and I can hit it with the titanium gold again. So it's just one of those things, keep building and fixing stuff that you just don't normally see, because I'm trying not to destroy the whole statue. You guys are watching this at work? Well, the more risky ones down the line I'll do on Picardo. Alright, let's let that set up, go back to the heads. Now with these, if I really want to, pop this back out. So we get a little bit of brown. Maybe we can Where did I put the container of blush? Losing my mind. Oh, it was here somewhere. There it is. Hey Jacob, these are custom Power Girl heads. Tony Cipriano sculpted them for me. And just doing some test paints on a couple before I do some main ones for my own statue. Trying to match the factory paints on these. When I do my own, they'll be painted differently. Thank you, Steve. I enjoy painting females most of all. I don't mind painting up male statues, but most of the ones I get painted for males are usually in full outfits anyway. So like Captain America's, Hulk's, stuff like that. So I think these are looking pretty decent. So something like this is when I would seal them before I do lips and the eyes. But I just want to make sure one more time she's looking decent on these. Can't go too crazy on them since it's like factory type of a paint up. So we'll do a test. Because I have a EX head that I'll be painting for somebody else, but it gives me an idea on how close they are. So fairly close to match up the factory. Yeah, so those will work. Just gotta hit the back of them now and then they should be ready to be sealed. Yeah, I like the Power Girl portraits too. I just didn't like the hair on them. That was my only thing. Yeah, Steve, eyes are always been an issue for me too. That's probably like the worst part. That's why I use the eye decals. I'm always trying to practice and get better at them. Trying to study a lot more, you know, just real eyes online. Just kind of looking at how they look, how they're colored, and trying to do it in a smaller scale. Alright, so these are going to have to be sealed. I'm going to have to do those tomorrow so I don't kind of get destroyed by fumes. So for those who don't know, I'll give you guys a little bit of an idea now. I post these in a lot of my videos, but because Garage Kit colors and some of these paints are not that durable, I always seal them up with gloss paint from Duplicolor. This stuff I spray like outside in the garage. It'll coat all this paint, and they'll be shiny. They'll be really shiny heads. Once that clear coat is dried, you do matte varnish on top of it, Vallejo matte varnish, and it dulls it back down to this type of look. So it gives it a really good durable sense, and you still get that flatness to it. So that's how I really seal a lot of my skin tones with Garage Kits, because if you don't realize, like I'll show it on one of the heads, the problem with Garage Kit colors is if you're not careful and you don't seal it, you can just scratch it right off with your fingernail, like really easy. Like I hardly even hit it and it scratched that little piece off, if you could kind of see. So something to think about. Other paint brands might be a little bit more durable if you like those, but with these I always use the Duplicolor. Makes life easier. It's just that the fumes are bad, so do it outside or a good booth. And then once I seal it, I flat coat it, I'll go in, I'll do the white to the eyes, I'll do the lips, I'll do the eyebrows, and then attach the hair. Alright, let's get back onto Rogue, see if we can get her finished up. So this is a normal process whenever I do small repairs like these. You don't want to destroy the paint or the statue, so I'd rather take little bits and pieces and sanding and using putty work to get it where we need it to. Hopefully this will be the last time on this, but we'll see. I don't want to crush the tops of the boots. Trying to get a good angle at sanding this. So if you use like really thick paint, if you spray it, or if it's just a rubbery paint, like doing this right now over the yellow would just be pulling it up because it's not really cured. So that's something to think about if you do this. So it is sort of coming up a little bit, so that's going to be like a pain. Nothing that the Tamiya chrome silver can't fix though. So if you run your finger over, you can kind of feel like there's a little bit of a, it's almost coming up. So that's something to think about whenever you do this. Just too much of a gap, so yep, I'm destroying this now, but oh well. And there's a really deep area there. Just gives you guys an idea what I go through when I repair these things. So what it was is the Aves that was meeting the resin was a little bit of a wonkiness to it, so can't let that sit like that. Yeah, just keep at it. Keep painting, keep practicing, try new things. Don't be afraid to mess something up. I am getting a little dust on the green, but that's just dust. Let's cut a fresh piece. Sandpaper, that'll probably help. Yeah, Vigilante, I mess up all the time. And there's times that, you know, you just gotta walk away from the item for a day or two, come back, and then do it. It'll get done. It's just a matter of keeping at it. Of course, you know, you learn from your mistakes and you learn what not to do. It's just that resin with Aves, when you're sanding, Aves will sand faster than resin. So if you're not careful, that's where you get that like warpage. You'll get like Aves going down faster than resin. That's just the difference between the two materials. If this was a straight repaint, this will be all smoothed out with primer. But of course, if Sideshow left this the way it was in the beginning, I wouldn't be going through this right now. Yeah, if you guys have a chance, go on like Google and look up the prototype of the Rogue premium format. The booty was like this in the beginning. Everyone loved it. And then when everyone got it in the mail, it was completely different. I guess Disney or Sideshow decided to have them close it all up. But then that changed after that. Most of the other statues that came out were had all booties on them. Alright, let's try one more time of Tamiya, and hopefully we got it. Yes, I have repaired a bunch of fingers for people that were missing. Sometimes I'll either try to sculpt it from scratch, or there is a stuff called Need Mold or Easy Mold. This type of stuff. What it is you mix A and B together of it, and you can wrap it around a finger. And you can pop it off, and then you can make a resin copy of it. So you're making a resin copy of, like, you know, this finger, and then you could kind of copy it and you could put it onto that finger. So that's one way of repairing fingers. I just kind of just hit it with a little, you know, you could just do this to get some dust off. If you're really worried about getting in there, you just use a paintbrush. But it's pretty clean. Alright, so that seems to have solved that. So just a little bit of a spot here from the paint being like resin, and then paint's higher than the resin. So we're going to let that dry a little bit. We could kind of sand that down, prime it again with the Tamiya, and then that's it. Yep, just a spot there and a spot there, and then that should be it. Yeah, fingers, if you're missing like a whole batch of fingers, then yeah, it's really difficult to remake them. Especially if they're holding something. Sometimes you just, if they're really too small, too thin, it's kind of a lost cause. Some guys out there can actually repair fingers from scratch. I'm not that good to do perfect hands. Still practicing. But, or that if you go online and you find another statue that's broken, but that hand is good, you could kind of do like a swap. I know it's probably looking like tedious work, but if you're ever working on an item, whether it's a kit and you're building it up and then all of a sudden you start seeing errors when you're painting colors, you can kind of do this process to kind of fix it without trying to re-prime the whole item. It's worth a shot. It's kind of what I do. So like I said, this Tamiya stuff dries fairly great and fast. So I'm just using a worn down piece of sandpaper just to kind of take away that little different area. Not sanding too hard. Tamiya chrome stuff also acts like a filler. It's weird. Like if you got some scratches, sometimes it fills in your scratches and other times it helps you see scratches you didn't see before. Do you mean the tip of the airbrush? Yeah, the dries on me a lot actually. Depends on certain paints. If that's what you're asking. Tailbone? There's really nothing here at the tailbone. Would be right about here. This is kind of where the outfit is from the lower back, what they sculpted. So I don't see anything. Unless it was a reflection. No, I don't see nothing. Philip, basically this is a Sideshow premium format Rogue. This butt, I actually re-sculpted the crack in it. And I'm just getting it all touched up with paint because the prototype looked like this, but then the factory and the company decided to make it a flat butt because everyone loved it. So now for this client, I'm actually just, I chopped it up and I'm just kind of touching it up with the paint now. But basically, it's difficult to add or take away something on the statue that hasn't been painted, and we don't want to destroy the paint. See, like that sprayed a little gunk in there. And I'm going to try to get that out. one little last spot, and then that should be it. A little bit of spot right there. Gotta let that dry. Yeah, no, that's fine. This is just an ongoing process, just trying to make this as smooth as possible without destroying everything. It's less work to do this than to make this a mess and repaint the whole thing again. But normally when I do repairs, because I've been doing them all day today, is I'm working on a bunch at a time. So I'll like prime and do this one, work on the next one, and then I'll just keep going around in circles till like everything is done in one day. Yes, Jacob, this is the one of the ones I'm doing for somebody. So the two heads have been pretty much set up. I just got to do the hair on them, but I redid the keys for them. This is what's going on with this statue. So I've had a lot of people asking for a head, but not a lot of people asking me to do it because nobody can really get the heads, or they don't want to pay, what is it, like, I think the Rogue is now like, what, over $1,000? Or close to it. At least the X. So it's a really sought out head now, especially to put it on this statue. Which I think looks amazing once done. It's got to dry a lot longer. I don't want to rush this one. Little spot here and a little tiny spot there. If anyone has watched my previous streams, I showed off a Kazar. Got his legs done. So his legs are attached, and sculpted out his furry undies. I'm doing a video series on this, so he's getting there. This one's coming along pretty well, as you can see. So this one's should be a fun project. I got to pull out the next item to attach him to, which is going to be massive and take a lot of work. And I'm finishing up a Jessica Rabbit, which hopefully will be posted in another week. Hopefully that one will be finished up. Yeah, we're gonna have to let this one dry for a while. See if we can move on to something else. I know, we can start up the hair a little bit. So that's gonna cause some issues. Probably have to kick on the booth for when I spray these down, but I'm going to do a titanium gold on these. These are the hair pieces to the Rogue heads. You want to sculpt shoes, you're having a hard time getting flat soles on and sharp details. Aves is it's tricky. For flat shoes, if you're sculpting, like if the shoe is like in the air and it's not on the like base, you can use like flat tools to hold the shoe and then sculpt around it. So basically what you do is you can put baby powder on like a flat surface, put your foot there and sculpt around it, and then when you're done you just pop that off, and therefore you can do it. If you're sculpting on a like if the foot's on a surface, you can use wax paper with baby powder and you can keep it flat and sculpt around it. I think something like that. Or you can sculpt like the basic flat shoe, just rough, let it dry and cure one night, and the next day you could kind of chop it up and start adding more details. Stuff like that, I would say. I guess don't be afraid to, you know, sculpt in sections each day. Get your basic shape and then sculpt on it the next day, let it cure, sand it down, sculpt the next day. Aves is kind of like that. If you can't really kind of get in that one shot, you could do it in pieces. So I'm going to kick on the airbrush booth real quick. It's going to get loud, so let me lower the music a bit. Yeah, no problem, Michael. Like I say, it's just a matter of getting used to the product a little bit, and then I think you'll be able to sculpt the feet a little bit better. Like Aves is kind of like a learning curve, just to get used to that working in that 3-hour window. Philip, I do have a water trap. My water trap is down there in the compressor. That's the Silent Air 20A. So yeah, I do have a water trap. So I don't have problems with moisture, but I mean I do live close to the bay ocean. But I just blow dry stuff just to make it dry faster, that's all. So like blow drying this stuff kind of dried it up fairly fast. I mean, I'm going to do more detailing to it. I'm just working out the base color now. At one time when I got into airbrushing, I had a water trap on the hose, and I didn't like it. It got in my way. So when I got the 20A, having the water trap at the bottom made life easier. This might be something I have to work on tomorrow. Too many errors on this to kind of try to force it tonight, because right now this is all kind of like caked up. So this side's looking good, that side's messed up. You can probably see it by now. So yeah, I think I'm gonna have to let this dry overnight. If I rush it, I'll just cause more issues now. That's why I work on so many at one shot. But give you guys an idea. So got the heads all fixed up for them. So I guess I could work on the hair a little bit now. Love how this statue looks with this head. Just grabbing some colors to do some painting on it. Everyone thinks she's Angelina Jolie modeled after. That's what they think she's kind of looks like, which is pretty much as close as everyone said on the forums. Of course, they can't outright say that they modeled it after her, even if it sort of looks like her, because then they get in trouble. Yeah, Fergie, people said it looked like Fergie too. But I think the majority of people said it looked like Angelina Jolie, but either way, I think it looks amazing. It's possible that it's like Angelina Jolie's mouth, but maybe like Fergie's nose and eyes. It's possible that they went that route. Alright, let's paint up the hair on these because I can't finish the butt tonight. We gotta let that really dry. So yeah, we got two of the X heads and one of the regular, because the way this is working is I'm doing two for one person and then the other one goes to his friend. Yeah, I can see the Fergie. I guess I see Angelina Jolie lips, I think, I would say. But yeah, I can see the Fergie look to it as well. After I fit the head, though, I had to sort of sculpt a little hair on it because it didn't really line up correctly. So you can see the pink stuff is all the extra hair I sculpted. So even though this, I'm kind of matching up the hair color a little bit, it's going to look shiny compared to that, but I'll go back in later and spray it down with some like matte, kind of blend it out. The reason why I sculpted the hair is because there was like an illusion where it seemed like the neck was longer than it is. Because the hair wasn't really sculpted for this. But it works. What's up there, raccoon? No, Jacob. When I set up the heads with the keys, I used the Saran wrap, and I made sure the jacket fits with the hair. So it's a little bit tricky, but I got it to work. Yeah, you don't want to set up these heads without having that jacket there, otherwise it'll never work. Yeah, Raccoon, I saw that Jean Grey when it first came out, and I was like, ah, I was like, that would be a really great character for somebody else. But I decided to pick up some other items for the year instead. I'm getting that, what is it, the Deja Thors? I'm sorry, I probably butchered her name. The one where she's sitting on those pillows from someone later this year. I don't know who to turn her into yet. I got a couple ideas, but I absolutely love that one. What do you mean, Jacob? Well, I want to see the Deja in person when she comes out to get a feel for the statue and see what's involved. Now, I'm not sure if she's going to be glued to the base and all that stuff, so I want to get an idea of it. Take it easy, Vigilante. And there's Creative Collector herself. Oh, that's right. Yeah, I forgot about that, what she had. It's doable. I think as long as she has ears, and the hair's kind of going back, you can pretty much get away with like fixing up the head. Don't worry, I won't get nervous. I think when it comes down to customs, it's more about, is the ears there and most of the face. If it's like hair that comes around the face but it's like all chopped out, then yeah, that's a problem. Because a lot of these heads with hair are all like in pieces. Like this head is painted separate and this hair is glued on top of it. So most of the stuff comes in pieces, I would say. Well, you could always find another head from another statue too, and you could swap. I mean, if you hunt eBay, there's always people selling either a damaged head or a replacement head, or maybe some people get an exclusive and they don't want the exclusive head or regular, and they'll sell it on eBay. So if it's in scale, you could get away with that. Okay, gonna touch those up tomorrow, especially the white. Alright, let's check this out. So this is a Gantz. I forget the name. Somebody asked me to repaint it. So there was a problem with the arm. the hand didn't work and the magnet didn't fit, so I had to put in a new magnet. No, I don't think this is a Prime 1 item. At least I don't think so. If it is, I mean, they didn't do a very good job with the magnet, so I don't think it's Prime 1. Nah. It's Noha Studios. Or Noah Studios. It's a cool statue though. I don't know the character or the anime. So I gotta kind of fix up the arm tomorrow again, because it was the magnet just it wouldn't hold up the arm. So I just gotta play with it tomorrow. It was all like a really matte gray. So we did all this like gloss black onto it. Magnet works, I just gotta do some of this. Yeah, Rogue's booty's still not dry. That's a lost cause for the rest of the day. Finish that up tomorrow. And this is a Huntress kit I've been working on. Trying to get this cape magnetized. Did it earlier today. So you can see I added a key with a magnet, and then I worked out the magnet so it should go like that. That's working out pretty well. Jacob, Poison Ivy is going to be a new work in progress series like the Bowsette. She's going to be turned into a Pokemon girl. So hopefully I'll get that started up soon. It's going to be like a year thing. Hopefully maybe we'll be done by the summer, but it's a side project. Oh, magnet came out, of course. Gonna have to glue this in tomorrow. Let's try to glue it now. Yeah, I've had the poison ivy for about, I don't know, like over a year. I didn't know what to do with her, plus I haven't had the time. I had a Bowsette. I did a custom video series on Bowsette Slicey. It's on my channel. I took a Poison, Street Fighter, Pop Culture Shock, and I turned it into a Bowsette. So I did a whole work in progress series on it. So we're going to do the same thing with this statue, but it's going to be a Pokemon girl. Yeah, the Mary Jane was a lot of fun. I love this statue. This Poison Ivy statue is one of my favorites. I love working off of it. So I figured she'd be a nice different thing. Actually, it's funny you guys mentioned Android 18, or yeah. I've been looking at a lot of other characters to work on, besides superhero stuff, but I like working on superhero statues. So, I was going to do this maybe whenever I get a chance. I have somebody on statue forum was kind enough to give me these statues a while back. So I have this Savage Dragon. These were big customs back in like 2006 era. So some guy on statue forum said he was going to throw them away, and he sent them to me. So I was thinking of making like one statue. I was thinking of doing Superwoman, which is the alternate universe of Wonder Woman. If you ever seen that animated TV show stuff. And the other one I was thinking of making, is it Android 18 or 21 where she has that crazy spiky hair? So I was thinking of making one of them out of this. But that's kind of down the line. I got so many projects, so these are kind of like sitting in the wind. But these were the biggest custom items back in the day. Like I made so many off of this statue. Other people were buying these up, making customs. They were huge items back in the day. So they're like 1/6 scale statues, I guess. Maybe a little bit taller. So something down the line I'll be using these when I get a chance. I might save them for live streams. Lots of projects, not enough time in the day. I actually, I did a, I don't know if I did a Black Cat off of the She-Dragon. I did a Miss Marvel. I think I've done a Wonder Woman. I think I did a Dark Phoenix. I don't remember. I've done so many of them. Yeah, Jacob, I forget. It's the one. Is it a Dragon Ball Z character that has the she's like sort of like a pinkish skin with the white spiky hair? Maybe it's not Android. I guess I'm thinking of a different character. That was the one I was thinking of. Yeah, I know JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. I was never really into it, but I do know the characters somewhat. But I just want to try different characters. Like, down the line, I think I want to do like Velma and Daphne from Scooby-Doo. Off of something, I don't know what yet, but that's kind of like another characters I want to try. Maybe some more Pokemon girls. Just trying those characters on superhero statues would be kind of cool. Because the market's kind of really, you know, there's so many like Harley Quinns, you know, Jean Grey, stuff like that. So I want to try some other types of characters. Just for fun. Yeah, okay, so it's Android 21 I'm thinking of. Then there was the other Dragon Ball character. Somebody asked me to make a while back, but they never got back to me. Was the pink one that's got the... I know there's that big heavy set guy in Dragon Ball that's pink skin. He's got like the tail on his head. And then I think there's a female version of that. So somebody asked me to make that female version. She kind of had the baggy pants, pink skin. I think it's kind of like, it's not really hair, it's kind of like a pointy thing coming off her head. But that, never heard from them again, so that never happened. Which I was going to make anyway off a character, but then, I think the Bowsette came up. Okay. Yeah, see, Jacob, you know more about this than I do. I'm kind of... I never was into Dragon Ball or Pokemon, so... But I just want to try characters like that for now on. Because, you know, like, a character like that off of the Poison Ivy would look kind of cool. It's not animated, but it's kind of like a cosplay type, realistic type thing, so... I figure you don't see a lot of it, so might as well try it. Yeah, Marco. I've had a couple people talk about White Rabbit in the past too, but nothing's ever pan out. Yeah, Ivy could be made into anyone, really. I mean, the statue just screams like, just make a different character. I never mess with the Funko Pops. I really don't, not really into them. Plus, I have gone to a couple comic book stores where I think every character has been made. So, and I don't like working on plastic. My work area is better than what it used to be. I mean, if you saw my old videos with my old work desk, it was a nightmare, but now everything's much more organized. As you can see, more space. Another item I've been doing, well, one of these Power Girl heads, I've been trying to sculpt the flowing hair. Been messing around with this one too. Something a little bit different on that. Jacob, I have tons of stuff in the lineup for 2020. I'm actually currently working with a lot of people right now in emails to plan out the year. I got a couple side projects just to kind of sell off on eBay, and I got a few personal stuff, not too many, but yeah, I got a lot of stuff in the works. So there's a lot of stuff over in that direction, but I can't really show because people don't like their stuff being shown off yet. So it's a lot of stuff's getting there. I'll get them all out when I get a chance. A lot of stuff's coming in. Repairs, I do a lot of repairs that I don't do videos on, because if I did repairs on every video, I would have like spending more time editing than actually getting stuff done. So a lot of repairs, I just kind of take in batches, get them done, get them out the door. But certain ones I'll do videos on. Like I got my Captain Marvel I have to finish up. I need a little bit warmer weather. This is if you saw the Miss Marvel video I just finished up, this is a Wonder Woman version of it. So she's getting there. I got the bracers kind of set up. I got the armor kind of going. I got to work out the hair a little bit. Hold on, too much bright light. So I've been working out this a little bit here and there. One of my other side projects. This one I think I'm going to use some clear epoxy. And I'm thinking of putting her in like some water. Like a little bit of like a stream or something. Or some sand. So that's another one I'm doing. And then if you've seen this one I was working on a while back, haven't finished her yet, but I got a lot of the skin tone going. We just got to work out some colors for her, but she's pretty much getting there as well. And just tons of other stuff. Just a constant stuff coming in and going out. Yeah, that's true. As long as I'm keeping busy, I'm happy. Alright, if I mess with this, I'm gonna have to put her on the floor for now. And then I've been working on this black cat for somebody, little by little. I had to rebuild all this in here. Rebuild all that, it was broken. I don't know if you saw that stream. And then I got to start rebuilding this here so this doesn't break when it goes in. Sure it goes in, I know it does. So I gotta just fix this crack up here. We're gonna do a different door though on it. We're gonna do like an electrical type door instead of the spin thing. So I think I'm gonna contact Meta John in Canada, who does a lot of my etching. I don't know if he's still in chat anymore. I'm thinking about doing some kind of like etched piece of wood we could put there to be like numbers. So we'll see how that works out. But this was smashed up pretty bad. So I've just been rebuilding this little by little. So like I said, just a day of little things here and there. But I think I'm going to call the stream there because I'm pretty much out of stuff to do today until everything is ready to do tomorrow. So thanks for stopping by, guys. Hopefully you guys enjoyed what I did so far. I'll probably have the Rogue finished up tomorrow. I don't think I'll do a stream on it though, but at least you got the idea on how to fix up the butt on that. But I guess be on the lookout. Hopefully maybe in the month or two we'll have our video series started on this poison ivy. Just got to finish up some other projects. So have a good one. Hopefully you guys have a good new year, and we'll see you next time.